Hi YouTube. All right, so welcome back to Beaming Light, where Beaming Light stands for bold, enlightened, aware, mature, insightful, nurturing, grateful, loving, intelligent, generous, honest, and tactful. I'm super excited today. I'm always excited. I just kind of like a happy-go-lucky person, I should say. Um, but today's message. So just to kind of give you a little background. I was driving home the other day from some friend's house, and like my friends are like older than me, like way older, like 80s, but I just love them to death. And I just couldn't get this song out of my head, so I had to play it. And the song is Toxic by Britney Spears. You're toxic, I'm sick of it. You know the song. I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not her. But let's get into it. So I wanted to just start kind of by first looking up the exact definition of toxic. So according to the dictionary, toxic is very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way, such as a toxic relationship. Now, yesterday I touched about breaking soul ties, right? Like when something is unhealthy for you, let it go. But in Britney Spears' song, she says, "You're toxic, I can't get enough." And then she starts saying how I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? And I was like, whoa. Oh, see, look, confirmation. I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? Let me tell you guys, if that is not the realest thing, toxicity or toxic cycles will keep you on loop, right? And I want you to watch this very carefully. When I mean on loop, I mean, here you go. This is a toxic cycle. This is what it looks like in my mind. You know what? Let me get over there, Mark, because I just feel like we're just going to make a bolder point. So you're on loop. So you go forward, and then you sit back. And then you go forward again, and then you sit back. You see, you just keep going forward and coming back. You're on loop. It seems like you're making progress, but you go forward just to go back. You go forward just to go back. This is a toxic loop. This is a toxic cycle. I talked about in previous videos my connection and just getting on a higher vibration with God and being more aware and more insightful with things and just doing better, right? Just better, do better. However, sometimes when we feel like we want to be good to someone, right? Like for instance, I was in a marriage. I was very brief. It wasn't long. We got married really for a stupid reason. But he convinced me that that's what he wanted and we were going to do it anyway. So let's just go ahead and do it for a certain purpose. And then whatever, everything else will just kind of iron itself out. But in his mind, even though we were just like, we didn't have a huge ceremony or anything, we just went to the courthouse. In his mind, it's like, well, I didn't really take that vow in front of everybody. I just took that vow to you. So if I broke that vow to you, it's not that bad. But it's like, no, it is, because like when I said I do, I said it and I meant it. When you said it, it was kind of like, And in that relationship, he kept me on loop. Go forward, just go back. Go forward, just go back. And it got so bad. And thank God he was like, I think we should just let it go. And I was like, you're right. Like, let's just let it go. I want to say that, I say that to say that sometimes even in a marriage, right, we do that. We go forward just to go back. And we don't want to let it go because of an image. Sometimes we get stuck in these toxic cycles because we want to keep up a certain image, or, we don't want people to really know what's happening between us. But remember that whole community of lies video, right? We'll go back to that a little bit. You're sitting here perpetuating an image or telling a lie, and not only is the lie being fed back to you by this whole community, but you continue to create your toxic cycle for yourself. Now, at this point, you can't blame the other person because you continue to stay even though you're living a lie. Now, there's one There's one thing where you are delusional, right? And you need to kind of get out of that state, like we talked about the sunken place and being alert. And I don't really like to use the term woke, but just be mindful, more aware, like just have a heightened sense of things. But it's one point to like feel like that, like where you just can't, you just stuck mentally because you are just stuck mentally. But it's another thing that you are aware of the toxicity that's going on and you continue to choose to live in the lie. Whew. I don't know. I just had to take a deep breath that moment. I feel like that is for someone. Now, I'm not saying like go and divorce your wife, go divorce your husband today. No, I'm not saying that. Please don't do that. What I'm saying is if you are consciously aware of the toxic cycle or the toxic loop that you continue to be in, and you're not happy, who are you to blame? Right? Let me say that one more time. Like, you are aware of this toxic loop or this toxic cycle you continue to put yourself in, and you are unhappy. Who is to blame? Then when you get stuck on loop and you're aware of this and you know what's going on, and this is when you create misery for yourself. And what happens with misery? Misery loves company. So you start bringing everybody else around you down because you're unhappy. Now you just keep perpetuating the toxic cycle on another level, right? When we talk about moving to the next level, I'm not talking about, when I talk about moving to the next cycle, I'm taking it to the next level. I'm talking about taking it to the next level in a positive way, in a forward motion way. You know, leaving things that don't feed my soul and are not bringing me joy and peace or happiness to my life. Leaving those things behind. People, places, or things. I'm going to say we're going to leave the toxic nouns behind. But when you are aware of it and you continue to perpetuate this toxicity on other people, and you're bringing people into your misery, then you created a community of misery. And you just look at other people's lives and you create this misery for other people because you're on your toxic loop. And you're just like, well, at least I'm doing better than this person. Or at least I'm doing better than that. You know, my aunt told me one time, you gotta look at other people's lives and you're doing better than a lot of people. And I said, no, that's not the way of the world. It doesn't matter if you have this over this person or you have that or you make this much more money. That doesn't matter because there are people who are billionaires and trillionaires in this world who are genuinely unhappy and dissatisfied. But when you take a look at yourself and realize, damn, I'm creating this. I'm so miserable that I'm perpetuating this toxicity and I'm creating a community of misery because I want everybody to be misery or have misery with me and be miserable with me. Is that right? No. It's definitely not right. Is it okay? No. So what do you do about it? You change. If you want to be happy, make the change that needs to be happy. Now, again, I want to go back to the example of marriage. Like, I'm not saying, like, cut him off, you know, divorce him, leave him today, girl. Or, like, man, she doing this to you, leave her today. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what can you do to create effective change where you're sowing the seed of happiness and joy and peace and love and compassion and kindness? Because it's not enough to be nice. People could be nice all day. That just covers up a little bit of here and there, make them feel good about themselves. But being kind, do you know that being kind is from the heart, is from your soul? It's things that you do not just because somebody asked you to do, it's just because I just want to do it. I just want to help you. I just want to. So what's better, to continue to create these toxic cycles and be on a toxic loop, or to take action, remain focused, and create a change for your dynamics. Have those difficult conversations with the people that you care about, that you love, that you feel like are putting you in this place of misery. But you also have to start taking responsibility for your own self. Accountability is huge, because if you don't take accountability, then you're not going to get out of these toxic loops and cycles. You're going to continue to remain there. Because when you deflect and play the blame game and gaslight and manipulate and perpetuate and all these other things that are of the devil, right, or negative, I think, to me, I just say we have different terms to define the same thing. Bad, negative, evil is all forms of demonic or the devil. Kindness, love, peace is all forms of a higher being, God. So you really have to do the inner work. And a lot of people don't want to do the inner work because healing hurts. But let me tell you something. As a person who did the work, who suffered in the healing process, because it hurt. It hurt like a bitch. God, please forgive me. It hurt like a bitch. It hurt. For real. It really hurt. But the other side was so much beautiful. It's just like clarity. The veil has been lifted. A weight has been lifted. I feel so much lightness and purity and innocence. I just feel like I'm back into, I really, after I did the work and healed, it was like, okay, I gotta learn everything all over again. But I would rather be in that place than to be stuck on this toxic cycle or this toxic loop. A lot of people stay on this loop because it's comfortable. They feel like they can control it. But you can't control it. You can't control other people. The only person you can control is yourself, because God is in control. You're not in control of your life like you think you are. You may have this illusion like you're in control, but you're not. God is in control. So do yourself a favor. Take control of your joy. Take control of your peace. Take control of your happiness. Take control of your love. Do the work to heal your wounds. And once you have that change, it may inspire change in your partner. And they might be like, oh, well, shoot, I seem to glow up with them. Let me get myself together, right? But it starts with you. It starts with you. Remember, like Michael Jackson says, it starts with the man in the mirror. Let's not be toxic. All right, guys. Well, that is my message for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, I hope it resonates with just at least one person. Sunny vibes. Pay it forward today. Do something kind for someone. Love, light, and positivity. Many blessings to everyone. Have a great and wonderful day.